You bring in problems here. A lot of times the problems aren't the real problems that we think the problem is. It's something else. Weight loss, weight gain has very little to do with the food itself, but the emotional programmings behind the food. By merely addressing emotions, memories, and experiences tied in and around the food. And so unfortunately, some of you guys had war around the dinner table. Celebrations with food, positive emotional food connections, negative food connections, negative body image, negative experiences being thin or being overweight. So there's all kinds of variables here involved with this.
Just feel more accepting of myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do you know you're more accepting of yourself?
The internal self-talk is not as mean and chronic. And I noticed that, so more tapping on it too, like to really release any emotions or diffuse them or whatever. It just, I'm feeling more happier is a better way to describe it. Yeah.
A lot more joyful in your life, not so stressed and heavy burdened, right?
And heavy sort of little, I always had like visually in my mind a little movie in the background back here going on, and it was very negative towards myself, like constantly like a little movie going round and round like a loop.
Yeah.
And it was playing out constantly about, even if I felt good, and then I put on something that felt tight, and I was like, oh, my whole day was wiped out, and then I would repeat this stuff on negative. It's been better this week with just feeling more joy and less of the I don't know, the tension around that. So that's been nice. And that has resulted also in not thinking about food like the way before, like feeling less, I'm not going to say less hungry, but less sort of mentally focused on it. So able to more connect with when I'm actually hungry.
So it's more not in the foreground, it's in the background, like, you gotta eat, but it's not controlling your thoughts.
Yeah, bingo. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And when I am hungry, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm hungry. And whereas before, I think there was an element of, I want to eat because I want to escape this feeling of feeling like shit, excuse my language, but or this constant mean person in there. I'm just going to go and do something that gives me this temporary reprieve, this feeling of fun, honestly, like this feeling of fun. Even if the food wasn't fun in and of itself, the act of just nourishing myself in a way, and it's a distraction. I've noticed all that stuff I don't feel that it's so loud. I'm more willing to tap on the food too.
That's
like
good.
Before eating, yeah. Whereas I wasn't when we started.
Right.
So anyway, this was good.
So again, you can see a mental processing that is different. You're seeing things differently. It's not driving your whole life, basically.
Yeah. So there's more space to make better choices for myself around relaxing or, doing other things
Right. Okay.
that are fun. Yeah.
That's good. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay. So I noticed that my body image is better. The reason I say this is because I was really heavy and then got the gastric bypass surgery. Somebody was talking about surgeries last week. I lost down really far. And to be honest with you, I had a better body image when I was really heavy than I did when I was really small. And I think it's, you get the loose skin and you know what I'm talking about. There's just stuff that is not the same as when you were like you normally were, And so anyway, over time, whether you want it to or not, the weight creeps back on after those surgeries because you're not eating right. You're just You're
Yeah.
doing a temporary Band-Aid on something, and eventually the Band-Aid stretches, which is your stomach. And
Right.
so then you can eat more. And by the way, no matter how many times they staple your stomach or put a sleeve on it or whatever, milkshakes go down really good as opposed to salad and things you should be eating, right?
Right.
So anyway, as far as the body image part is concerned, I have a backwards one, I guess, but I had started looking in the mirror recently and had noticed, oh, my stomach's getting bigger. I'm in menopause, so I have the menopause tummy, and it just kept going and going and going. And I've been trying to find out reasons why. Well, I've got a sleep apnea machine, and is my thyroid medicine enough? And, just all that, when in all reality, I just needed to accept what I was seeing and then do things that can help me, I guess is. Anyway, when I look in the mirror this last week, I didn't see that tummy so much. I didn't worry about the scale so much.
Right.
I just did what I needed to do, as far as like eating healthy and trying to be mindful with the eating as much as I can. That's one of the things that I have an issue with is, I want to be able to sit at the table and eat instead of sitting in a chair and eating, because you don't pay attention to what you're doing sometimes. You just eat, and don't. I've been doing the setting the fork down, but I find myself missing that sometimes. So that's something I'm having to tap on. So, but anyway, body image has gotten a little better. I don't know. I've ran through swings of body image problems. Like I said, when I was real heavy, I was good, or thought I was, except I really wasn't, because I wanted to lose weight. I got the surgery. And then when I had the surgery, still didn't have a good body image. It was that kind of thing. It doesn't matter what it is. It just was never a good body image.
Right. So now your body image in your mind now, how does it seem?
It seems a lot better. Like I said, I can look at myself in the mirror without having to, cringe, I guess. Good. And so that what we did last week has helped that. And I've re-tapped on that several times. And while I'm standing in the mirror, and that's helped some. So, yeah.
Now, I would say what you're doing is smart. Is one, you're checking it and tapping on it. You know what I'm saying? So you are diligently wanting that result. You want to be free. And that's the biggest thing that you could do for yourself, is persistently keep working on it and cleaning it up and adjusting it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's very good. Now, by the way, we're not dieting, are we?
No.
And I mean, we don't use weight as our success. We use, do I feel better? Am I in control? Are things bothering me as much? Am I pushing the food away? Do I not care about food so much? That's our measurement of change. Again, naturally, the body should and could naturally lighten up without you trying, because we're not dieting. We're not going on to restriction or anything.